Hello everyone and welcome to the West Ham Transfer Rumour, where we discuss transfer rumours involving West Ham. Surprisingly enough, it does what it says on the tin, really. No clickbait here, unless we're linked with Messi. Anyway, pink folder's back. My pink folder is ready to go. The names are written down. Some of the names are written down. Let's get into it. The top story, the main story, it's just nothing's really changed, but the main target is Eze of QPR. West Ham haven't really done anything. The last video I done, I said we were looking at him. I think he's David Moyes' number one target. I still believe that. I still believe that he is David Moyes' number one target. We know he's going to watch him at the end of the season. And we've done nothing. We don't have enough money. We've got no money. We need to sell before we can buy. That's not happening. But the reason I'm discussing this is because Crystal Palace have made their move. They've had their bid rejected for around about £12 million. QPR supposedly need 16 as a minimum. And Palace aren't too happy with that valuation. But you imagine he's going to move. He's only got a year left at QPR on his contract, so they're sort of forced into selling him a little bit. I think everybody's expecting him to move to the Premier League. It's just a case of who. And Palace are the big movers at the minute. We're interested. West Brom's interested as well. Slaven Bilic is looking at taking him to the Hawthorns for next season. Now, the reason I'm mentioning these teams, there's a point to this later on in the video, so bear with me. Speaking of this video, it's sponsored by OneFootball. The best app you can get for keeping up to date with all the West Ham transfer rumours. It's completely free as well. Nil. You can afford it with West Ham's transfer budget, which is pretty handy. Can't really afford much else. The link's in the description. Just get it downloaded, customise it, and stay up to date with all your West Ham news. And if you're not a West Ham fan, it's fine. You can do it for your team as well. We've got Villa fans, Everton fans that watch this. Get it downloaded and get your team linked up to your account and get those notifications on and get that transfer rumours straight to your phone. That's what I use, to be honest with you. I'm tempted to take my phone out and show you because I've probably got a notification on my phone from OneFootball, but I might not because I clicked on it earlier. I'll leave that one for the next video maybe. Anyway, right, next rumours. Robinson. Wigan have now been relegated to League One. That's been confirmed. The 12-point appeal has been refused. They're now in League One football, which means Robinson, their left back, has a £1.5 million release clause, which is now activated. So you've got £1.5 million, you can go buy him. I'm not sure West Ham have even got that, to be honest with you. But listen, if we know Moyes went to watch two teams, one was QPR, the other one was Wigan, and there's only two players of Wigan of any interest, him and Kip for the centre back. But if it was Robinson, bearing in mind we do need a left back, I think this falls into the no-brainer category. Is he good enough to step up and be our first choice left back next season? Unsure. But is he worth spending £1.5 million on to find out? I think so. I wouldn't be surprised if we do move for him. But there's a few other clubs interested in him as well. Villa, Leeds, they're all looking at him. And I'm not surprised for £1.5 million. It's £1.5 million. It's Premier League football. This is, I say, cheap as chips. This is spare change. I'm aware we're in a different climate right now, and it feels wrong saying this, particularly after Arsenal just got and announced 55 redundancies. But in the transfer market, £1.5 million is cheap. So don't be surprised West Ham fans would do move for him. The next player that also had a release clause activated is Ollie Watkins. Brentford failed to come up to the Premier League. I mean, that was a boring playoff final, weren't it? Did you watch that? Crikey. I guess it's expected. It's playoff final. No team's going to come flying out the traps and try and win it from the first minute either. So it was a very cagey affair. I think Brentford have got the better players, to be honest with you. But I think Fulham turned out with a better game plan, more organised, played a better football on the night, and deserved to win the game overall, which is good news for Scott Parker. It's good to see him up in the Premier League, and it'll be interesting to see if he can manage to keep them up and cut his cloth as a manager, because you like to see former players do well as in management, don't you? And Scott Parker's no different to me. I like to see him do good, and for succession at West Ham, if he turns out to be half decent and Fulham go back down again, who knows? We'll wait and see. But I don't know why I'm doing a playoff final review here, apologies. But the point is, Ollie Watkins has now got a release clause which is activated, 18 million, because Brentford didn't get promoted. A few clubs sniffing about him already, which is unsurprising. And the likes of Villa's straight in there. Crystal Palace is also looking at him as well. Is he a genuine transfer target at West Ham? I don't think he is, because he's 18 million. We don't have much money, and I do think we will need another striker, but I don't think we're going to be spending 18 million on another striker unless we sell Sebastian Aller. And even if we did, I'm not sure it would be Watkins we'll go for, which is a shame. I think he's a fantastic player. I prefer him to Benrahma in terms of value, if you like. I think he's got it all. I think his movement off the ball is fantastic. I think his hold-up play is really good. He clearly can score goals, but he showed the season before last, not the one that's just completed, the one before that, he can play out wide, and he's been converted to an out-and-out striker, and he's done that role as well. So you're getting a very versatile player to play in your front three, scores goals for 18 million these days in Premier League. I think it's a very, very good signing. Whoever gets him has done some good business there. Right, a few other things. Where to start now? We're being linked with Gonzalo Montiel. To be honest with you, until we got linked with him, never heard of him. I still know nothing about him. I refuse to YouTube players. I hate Gonzo likes to YouTube players, hence why I call it Gonzoing a player. No thank you. I'll wait and see him when he's in action in pre-season or whatever and start looking at him then. So I don't know, 6 million roughly for the right back. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But there's a lot of smoke about this player. He's been linked with us for months now. Right, here we go. David Moyes wants 45 million to spend. The only way he's getting that is by selling £45 million worth of players. We know that. Our budget's nil. We don't have a penny. And I think that's a bit of an issue. Now, the rumours are he wants 45 because he wants Eze and to do something with the defence. So who on earth is he going to sell? That's the big question. I know everyone's going to say, well, Anderson and Lanzini, but I'm not convinced anyone's going to be buying Lanzini for what we want, 10 million. I think that's a moderate fee. And same with Felipe Anderson. We want 25 million. I mean, bear in mind, that's taking a 20 million hit. I do think, though, a lot of the payments that we owe Lazio for Felipe Anderson will depend on West Ham's sort of league performance, so qualifying for European football, top 10 finish even. So they're going to miss out on a few of those payments. So I don't think it will quite be the full 42 million. But still, it's still a big loss, and I just can't see many people wanting him. I know he's in Italy at the minute, but he's just on holiday. He's not gone there to get his own move, has he? That's his agent's job. His brother has also commented on social media that he's happy at West Ham. He's not looking to leave West Ham. I think his tune might change though if someone like Roma did come in for him, but we've just seen that Roma can't afford Chris Smalling, who was excellent for them last season, so surely he would be their number one target given that they know how good he was, but they can't afford him. So that would insinuate that even Roma don't have too much money. I say Roma because he's in Rome at the minute, and there was a sporadic transfer rumour that he's looking to go there or go back to Lazio. But no, I just can't. Where are we going to get this 45 million from? I just can't see where we're going to get it from. I think it's going to be a bit of a struggle. The only player that concerns me that Moyes might be interested in cashing in on is Diangana, because he never had Diangana last season. Now, I know there's a 20 million price tag attached to Grady at the minute, but we would never get that. Bear in mind, we're just discussing what the other players are costing. Eze's 15 million roughly. He's better than Diangana, dare I say it. Watkins is 18. I know there's a release clause there, but I think that's a fair fee for him anyway, and I think he's probably better than Diangana. So I think Diangana's true fee would be about 12 million. I would be impressed if we got more than that, 15 at the most. Now obviously West Brom is the main ones, but this is my point here. We're wanting 20. I wouldn't be surprised if Villa have turned around, West Brom turned around and said, well, we'll just go get Eze, who's cheaper and better and can play in the same position. It's a different player, of course, but we know what Slav's like. Slav likes a player that can cut inside and stuff, and that's exactly what Eze can do out on the left. But this is why I fear if a bid does come for Diangana, Moyes might be tempted, because it will be £12 million for a player he's never had. He didn't have him in the squad last season, so why would he? He can't miss him, can he? He doesn't even have to replace him. He's not a person he had. So that's my concern with the Diangana one, because he's going to be sought after, unlike Lanzini. Isn't it crazy though to think that if we were to sell Lanzini and Diangana tomorrow, we'd probably get a bigger fee from Diangana? Who would have thought that, eh? Shane Duffy, we've been linked to him. Possibly, I can possibly see that if we sell Balbuena, because they've obviously Brighton have gone and signed Veltman. What a signing that is! £900,000, under £1 million for the captain of Ajax. That's a good signing. We were linked with him a year ago as well. So they've got that tied up really quickly too. He's just got a big desire to play in Premier League, and Ajax have sort of agreed to almost like a loyalty thing. I know he had a release clause and stuff as well, but he's been rewarded for sticking with Ajax for so long, and he can go follow his dream of playing Premier League. He's doing it in Brighton. So that could mean Shane Duffy leaving. Lewis Dunk's been linked to Chelsea as well, which would be good for West Ham should that happen. Can't see it though. He's quite pricey. At least with Rice, you're getting someone who's really young. Dunk's coming to the prime of his career, if you like. So Shane Duffy, I wouldn't discard that because I don't think he'd be overly expensive, and I think it would only happen if we sell Balbuena though. I think we'd maybe be able to get Duffy for a similar fee, maybe even a couple of £1 million cheaper, and we move. Martin Braithwaite, I mean, no one believed this, surely. Linked to Barcelona's Braithwaite for 18 million. The thing is, right, I wouldn't even want him. It's just a bad use of funds, isn't it? 18 million on a second striker or a third choice striker. I mean, he might then become the first choice striker, but then you've got a £45 million striker as your second choice. Neither's good, is it? I will be surprised, bar selling players for decent fees, I would be surprised if we spent more than 10 million on a striker this summer. Unless Allaire leaves, or we get a ridiculous fee for Felipe Anderson or something, or Declan Rice. Didn't really consider that part. That's not so nice. But I just can't see us. I think it'll be a punt. I do think it'll be a punt. As I've said in the last video when we did a cup of tea extra, there's that I forgot his name now. I'm going to take a butchered attempt at guessing his name. Sean Wiseman, and Sean is spelled S-H-O-N. I remember that. He's Israeli and he's playing in the Austrian league at the minute, and he's top goal scorer in the Bundesliga. 24, I think, as well. So I do believe we are genuinely interested in him. So it'll be interesting to see if we go for him, because he won't command that big a transfer fee. And it would fit the sort of strategy that Moyes has been trying to allude to with the Red Bull model. I still don't think it's the Red Bull model. It's just scouting the lower league for young players. It's not quite the same, is it? But this would, if a move for someone like that, would very much insinuate that we're a bit switched on. It's a bit like the Solskjaer deal, isn't it? A bit clever. Someone's got knowledge in the European, the leagues there. Whoever signs Solskjaer is. Ask them for some recommendations, please. And that's it, I think. I think that's everybody. Oh, Matty Cash, that's the last one. Matty Cash, there's nothing to report there except that other clubs are sniffing. Sheffield United is the main one at the minute. I don't know if he'd go there because Baldock's been really good for them. So I think he'd struggle to get into that team. But they have shown with Osborne. They signed Osborne from Forest, and he got into the team in the latter stages of the season and kept his place. Lundstrom was on the bench, and even when Fleck come back from injury, he still didn't get into the team initially because Osborne was playing well. So I think I can see why players would be attracted to Sheffield United. My only point I just wanted to make, I was going to elaborate on it, but I can see I'm recording for 13 minutes. I don't really. The reason I was mentioning these teams is because this is who we're competing with for players, and this is no disrespect to Sheffield United, Villa, West Brom, Leeds, but these are teams that have just come up in the last 13 months. These are teams that have just got promoted to the Premier League. This is who we're competing with in the transfer market, and it's just a bit, I mean, they're good players, Watkins, Eze, and they're really good. They're good players. I don't mind going for them. It just, I don't know. There's just something about it. When I see who we're in competition with for these players, I think, crikey, we're not shopping at Harrods, are we? And I know we didn't move Stadium to shop at, I don't want to call it a charity shop, but you get what I'm trying to say here. We've moved Stadium to move to another level. Well, we've actually gone down a level in the transfer market. Crazy, isn't it? Anyway, there you go. There's your West Ham transfer rumours for tonight. If you've enjoyed this video, drop a like on it. Much appreciated. I will leave a link to one or two of the players I've mentioned in the description, because I'm aware that some of them aren't well known. Mainly the Israeli that's playing in Austria. The link to him, his profile will be below if you want to check him out. Subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I shall see you tomorrow, maybe, if you're lucky or unlucky, depending how you want to look at it. Right, that's enough from me and my pink boot. Catch you in a bit.